Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Immigration Talk Show. It's really nice that you have joined us. We are streaming live right now on YouTube and also on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and Instagram. So, thank you so much for joining us, friends. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel. We are Immigration Talk Show, and you can also connect with us in all these different handles. Whichever platform you are there. So, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thank you so much. And before we start off with today's discussion, friends, we have this very important disclaimer. And that is by watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. So, yes, welcome, friends, to Daily Immigration Dose. I'm your host, Nipasa, and today we're going to discuss about why are deported immigrants disappearing from the system. And it is one of the latest news, very shocking news, and very deeply concerning issue because how come there are so many immigrants disappearing from the United States tracking system? Where have they all disappeared? Reports have emerged that many Venezuelan migrants who were detained by ICE suddenly vanished from its online detainee locator. So we are going to talk more about this today, and of course, to help me, discuss this in our show today, Daily Immigration Dose is none other than my co-host Sam. Hi, Sam. How are you doing?
Hi, Nipasa. I'm doing great. And welcome again, friends, to Immigration Talk Show. And today, again, we are back with a very exciting and very important topic. And yes, we are going to have a great discussion on why are deported immigrants being disappeared from the system. And it's a very serious topic. It's a very important topic also to discuss. And it would be great, friends, if you could also let us know what do you think about this whole scenario. And why do you think the deported immigrants are being disappeared and where are they being disappeared? What can be the reason behind it and how they are feeling right now? So anything, because it's a completely a free platform for sharing the point of views and sharing different thoughts. So please go ahead and let us know more about what do you think about this topic in the comment section. And you can also dial the number that is 425 4366335 with the access code 988888. So please go ahead, join us on this call and have a discussion, have a very exciting discussion on this topic. So before that, I think Napasa, let's go with the news first.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sam. And to go ahead with the first news that I have is, friends, Indian H-1B visa and green card holders face unexpected deportations. So we must have read this and heard this in the recent weeks, that multiple Indian nationals on H-1B visas and even green card holders are really facing unexpected visa revocations, detentions, and even deportation proceedings under immigration policies that critics say are becoming increasingly aggressive. So every time we hear is one of the most important and high profile cases is Badr Khan Suri's, who is an Indian national and postdoctoral fellow at Georgetown University. And Suri was detained by federal immigration agents outside his Virginia home and placed in deportation proceedings under a rarely used provision that allows the US government to expel non citizens if their presence is deemed a threat to US foreign policy. So, yes, according to the filings, Suri's visa was revoked, without prior notice, and his lawyer argues that his detention is politically motivated as his wife is of Palestinian American heritage. So, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, also claims that he was spreading Hamas propaganda on social media, but a federal judge has now intervened, blocking his deportation while his case is under review. So this was one of the cases, friends, and it really means that H-1B holders and green card holders, what is happening? You know, with there are many other cases, including the one with which Ranjani Srinivasan, which me and Sam we spoke about, in our last daily immigration dose session. So these are making headlines, and Indian professionals in the US are really now facing growing concerns. There is an increasing fear that more individuals would also be subjected to sudden visa revocations and even unpredictable detentions or even deportation even. So many are really questioning what is happening and whether it is still safe, for visa holders to travel internationally, and what rights do they have if detained or questioned by immigration officials. So immigration experts warn that incidents signal definitely stricter enforcement, increased surveillance, and also heightened scrutiny on visa holders. So this is one of the news that I have, friends, and I would really like to know what are your thoughts. If any one of you also must have faced challenges similar to these, let us know in the comments also. And it's what all is happening, right, Sam? There are so many people out there facing detentions, deportations, and well, these are some of the latest cases also. You can go ahead now with your news as well.
All right. Okay, so I think this is also very important news, friends, and that is about women suspected of fatally stabbing California fire captain arrested in Mexico. So, a woman suspected of fatally stabbing her wife and a California fire captain last month has been arrested in Mexico. Authorities there announced Saturday. And there was also a Marodi, also known as Yolando, was arrested near a hotel in the Mexican state of Baja, California, the state Citizen Security Force said in a press release Saturday. And Yolanda is suspected of fatally stabbing 49-year-old Rebecca Marodi inside the couple's home near Romana, California, some 40 miles northwest of San Diego on February 17. So Marodi was a fire captain for the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection known as CAL FIRE. And court papers also filed in San Diego County Superior Court allege that she has stabbed her wife after learning Marodi planned to leave her and that the attack was captured on a ring home security camera. So in the footage, Rebecca is seen being chased across the patio by screaming, Yolanda, please, I don't want to die. So this was the statement given by her, and an arrest warrant also stated this. So she responded by saying that you should have thought about that before and appeared to stand in front of Marodi with a knife in her right hand, according to the warrant. So this was the whole incident that happened and also the last word of the suspect. There appeared to be blood on both Marodi's back and the arm also, and Marodi repeatedly asked to call 911 and then the two are seen entering the residence according to the warrant. So several minutes later, the front door also camera captured wearing different clothes, and there were some different like pets, random items, and some luggages were also there into a silver area. And Marodi's mother later told investigators that about a week prior to her death, her daughter had told that she was leaving and ending their marriage according to the warrant. So this was also the information that has been said. And the State Citizen Security Force of Baja, California said that the arrest came as the result of information exchanges between Mexico and the United States. So the stabbing of Marodi is not the first time has been accused of killing a romantic partner, but in 2003 she also pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter for stabbing her then husband to death and was also sentenced to 11 years in prison, according to officials. She served the time and was released after which she met Marodi. So this is another very, I would say, disturbing incident that took place in terms of an immigrant. And there are so many cases, there are so many incidents regarding the illegal immigrants who are being entering in the US. And, they are like regularly being involved in these criminal activities and making scenarios more disturbing and more chaotic. So I think, yeah, this was the news from my end. And now, without any further ado, I think Napasa, now let's directly jump into our today's topic, and that too a very important one. That is, why are deported immigrants disappearing from the system? So I think, Nepalse, this is very important topic and it's a very new topic for all our viewers and for us also because till now we have been discussing about immigration, about deportation, about the cases, but we
Right.
haven't been delved into the topic like why these things are happening. And it is something very new that what is happening with those people who are being deported or who are being like convicted criminals or anything like detention center. So, okay, let
Right.
me tell. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, please,
Yeah,
Napasa, go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was just saying it's so true that families are, desperately searching for their loved ones when there's no information on their whereabouts. So it's really scary and it's concerning to everyone who loves their family, right, Sam? So yeah, you may
Hmm.
go ahead, please. I just wanted to just
Right,
say
right.
that.
That's true. So I think now that is the only thing that's happening because there are some group of immigrants and there is no record of them because right now what's happening earlier, of course, whosoever were in the detention center and where they have been deported and what's their current status. All those things have been in a proper records track. But right now, what's happening that there are some deportees or there are some immigrants, illegal immigrants who are in the detention center or who are in the process of investigation and suddenly they are disappearing. Suddenly
Mhm.
there's no record of them. Suddenly there is no, I would say, information about them that where have they gone or what's the news about them, whether they are alive or not. And the same incident happened with Franco Caraballo. So in this webinar, obviously we are going to have a detailed discussion on this case study. We'll understand like what happened with this man, and obviously there are some different immigrants also who are facing the similar situation and what's their scenario and where they are being going to and how they are being detained and how President Trump's administration are also reacting on these incidents and why are they doing this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Nipasa, please let us know more about this because we would like to know like how is it going to impact immigrants? Don't you think it's creating more uh, trauma in the minds of immigrants?
It is for sure. I mean, not just immigrants, but the whole family, the families they come from.
Hmm.
Because imagine the families searching for them. Where are
Yeah.
they? There's no information, nothing about where they are, what's happening to them, are they alive, just like you said. And, it really raises serious questions about transparency, human rights, and even immigration policies, right? I mean, how can you just make a person disappear just like that?
Hmm.
Without letting at least their loved ones know, the families, who have the right to information about them at least. And of course, the US government also has invoked a centuries old law, the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. And all of these things, seriously, all just to justify mass deportations. And this law allows the US to deport, non-citizens without legal recourse or account court hearing even. And
Yeah.
in this today we are going to discuss more about what has been happening and what we don't really know what's going to happen, but all we want is more answers, more transparency. We need to know, each of us with how much rights we have. I mean, we all have rights, right? So,
Hmm.
and coming
That's right.
to uh, the Franco Carabello case also. Then there was also this Ali David Navas Vizcaya's case, right, Sam?
Hmm.
Another
That's right.
Venezuelan migrant, who was stopped at the U.S. Mexico border and who was detained earlier this year. And he called his mother, telling her that he thought he was being deported to Venezuela or Mexico, but instead he never heard from again. His name disappeared from ISIS system. His family
Hmm.
later suspected he was sent to El Salvador's maximum security prison, and there is no criminal record that he ever had, it seems.
Yeah, that's right. And I think this is what is happening right now. It's mostly the Venezuelan immigrants who are being targeted this time because there's also a Trendy Aragua gang, and that too, it's mostly the Venezuelan people are there. And that is why I think we talk about like why President Trump is trying to, remove their name and is trying to, without any further investigation or without having a proper investigation, they are sending these Venezuelan immigrants to the prison. They are in the detention center and they are already in the process of the investigation, but suddenly, just in a minute of, I would time, say that they are being directly transferred to the prison in El Salvador. So there's no information to them. In fact, their family members are not even informed that where they are and, in which condition they have been sent to or in which condition, they are suffering right now. So these things are kept unknown from themselves only, from their families only. And it's a proper, I would say, a very difficult situation for them and for their families also. And it's not only today, friends, we are going to talk about a single person who has been suffering from this situation, but there are 200 Venezuelan illegal immigrants are also there. I wouldn't say exactly illegal because some of them have also applied for the asylum seeking. And due to the ban of CBP One app, of course, there's no other option left for the asylum seekers to apply more in a legal way. So, they have been waiting for their chance. They have been waiting for, of course, their status to become legalized and to make sure. But right now, Nipasa, I think with these strict rules and with these, I would say, such a bold attitude or aggressive, statements, this time, Franco's wife also said that as soon as they'll get back together, she'll get to, she'll meet with her wife, her husband. Then they'll get back to their own place, Venezuela. They are not going to live in the US anymore, and they're not interested to live there. So I think these are the situations that's happening, and there are so many people who are not willingly trying to, settle in US anymore because of these situations also. And of course, it's not a very safe place right now for the people. So that's what happening, and that's how it's going right now.
Right. And, whenever we look at the place we want to live, we look for security. We look for somewhere we feel safe and comfortable, but this whole scenario is becoming very uncomfortable for so many
Hmm.
migrants out there.
Yeah,
So um, we don't know what's going to happen and how many really want to live in America anymore and how many want to leave America.
that's right.
So let's take up some comments. Let's take up AJ's comment. Hi, AJ. Thank you so much for joining us again. And it's nice to have you here on Daily Immigration Dose. If possible, join us on call. Folks out there, you can also join us on call by calling us on this number 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. So AJ is saying, are their cases being closed because their cases have come to its conclusions?
Hmm.
What can we say, AJ? I wish we could really know, but I think right now we all need more information, right, Sam? Like
Yeah,
what happened? Why is it? What's going to happen also? Like
that's
imagine
right.
the information being erased and their existence also for that matter, whether even if it's
Mhm.
for a little short period of time, what's happening, what happened to all the information.
Hmm. And I
So
think,
it's
Nipasa, these cases that we are reading right now, these are the cases that happen like maybe a few weeks ago or a few days ago, right? And we are
Mhm.
getting to know right now because there are obviously the rules and the laws that are being that are being changed. So we are getting to know on that day only, but these cases are being very secretively put and they are hidden from all the news platform. So right now
Yeah,
there's not much information regarding these cases. It's just that what's happening and how people are reacting to it.
exactly.
So we are just getting to know about those information and why it is happening, who said what, and what's people call, and a very, I would say, confidential statements are not there. But stay tuned, AJ and everyone, because we are Immigration Talk Show, and of course, we will definitely try our best to let you know more about the topic and also more about the immigration topic. So stay tuned, and also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And we are live on YouTube right now, but available on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram. So follow us there and also put a lot of comments so that we can have more conversation to this topic. And let me take Fawad one. So
Yeah.
Fawad is saying that AP Franco Carabello, okay, was in distress when he called his wife on a Friday night earlier that day. The 26-year-old barber, along with other Venezuelan migrants, was taken from a Texas detention center, handcuffed, and flown to an unknown destination. By the next day, his name vanished from the U.S. Immigration Custom Enforcement's online system. The deportation flights caused panic among families as many immigrants disappeared from ICE's online locator. Some were found in El Salvador's massive prison, where visitors and activities are prohibited. That's right. The US paid El Salvador USD $6 million to detain these immigrants, mostly Venezuelans, whose government rarely accepts deportees. Okay, so I think Fawad, you have overall explained all the things in a very good way, and of course, it's lovely. But also, Fawad, I would like to ask you, regarding more questions that why do you think that Trump administration is taking these steps? Also, let us know more about it because it's about the case that you have shared, and it's really sad because you mentioned that he was a barber, and
Yeah.
of course, he it was a very difficult time for him because he was a barber. So it's not like he was having a very smooth life or a very luxurious life. He was already struggling, and he and his wife came to US only to have a good life. But right now, it's completely opposite. I mean, the tables are turned completely, and it's so hard for them to even survive there. And the things are like it's completely changing into nightmare, and they are not at all willing to live in the US. They want to leave the US as soon as possible. So I think Napasa, these years I think 2025, we are seeing a lot of things. People are changing their perspective. How
Yeah.
people we used to find madly in love with going to US and work over there. Some people are stepping back. I think so that way.
Yes, at least they're waiting for the dust to settle down. I don't know dust or what should I call, but there's too much happening right now, to really decide on anything, whether to travel out of America or travel to America. I think people
Yeah,
will really have to wait right now. Let things really settle down, so that we know uh, like who is allowed, who's not allowed, and then also
mm,
because we hear travel ban, but we don't know really how much or how many, which are the countries. We only know about the red zones, the yellow zones,
yeah,
but still, I mean, so much is happening. Not just the travel ban, but also like
hmm,
so many people, even green card holders, are falling into trouble. We don't really know who is all right, who should travel
yeah,
out. People who are traveling out of the United States are having trouble while they are returning back, and many attorneys also say that they should not be traveling right now.
yeah.
So many things happening. I think we should all just wait and let things settle, and
Mm.
we'll know for sure. I think, right, Sam? What do you say?
Of course, but I think, as it's Trump point two era, so of course things, I don't know whether it will settle down or not. But of
That
course,
too.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know whether it will be calm or whether it will be peaceful or not, but at least
Mhm.
it will be clear, it will be transparent,
Yeah, I
as
really hope so.
how Trump's administration has this agenda to make rules crisp and clear and of course free from illegal immigration for sure, as now
Mhm.
we are seeing lots of news. So of course in coming days or coming years, we don't know how much time will it take, but soon I think US will be free from the illegal immigrants actually. And I think that's a good thing, that's a good news.
Yeah.
But of course, it shouldn't be that innocent people should also suffer regarding that, because right now the case we are discussing, it's about the Venezuelan immigrants, and there is this criminal gang named Trende Aragua. And when there are
Mhm.
so many people who are already involved in the criminal activity, then the innocent people are also considering like being involved in that category. So they are the one who are like unknowingly, suffering and facing these difficult situations. So of course, these things shouldn't happen. There should be a proper investigation. And if they are not having any criminal background, then there's no point of, taking them to the prison and I mean, just going on with the process and torturing them. So yeah, I think that's how it should be, and that's all I can say right now.
All right. So, hi, Richard. Thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube and on this discussion. I wish you could also join us on call. Please do, AJ as well. Richard is saying conservatives have supported this move as a tough stance on immigration. The administration claims it's using this law to deport alleged trendy Aragua members, but hasn't provided evidence. Just what
Hmm.
Sam just said just now, right? Sam,
Yeah,
so yeah,
that's right.
now I
And I
think
think
since we already,
this
yeah.
this comment also, Nipasa, that you missed out of Richard.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. President Donald Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, that's right, on Saturday. And this law allows deportation of non citizens without legal resource or court appearances. Conservatives
Hmm.
have supported this move as a tough stance on immigration, and administration claims it's using this law to deport alleged trendy Aragua members but hasn't provided evidence. So this is
Yeah.
what is really happening. And
Hmm.
it's true, Richard. Thank you so much for joining us with this information. And it's crazy because, it's a very old wartime law that allows non citizens to be deported without legal hearings. So imagine
Hmm.
not even being allowed to I mean, to be heard by from a legal person, whether you are allowed to have a say or not allowed, you're totally not allowed. So,
Hmm.
according to the government, these deportations are really necessary to remove these alleged trendy Aragua members who they claim are invading the US. So,
Hmm.
there is no strong evidence, but we still
Yeah.
have to wait and let's really hope for more information on this. So,
That's right. Yeah, I think about Alien Enemies Act, we also talk about that. Then, of course,
yeah,
this is the law that allowed the US to deport non-citizens without giving them a chance to appear in the court. And I
yeah,
think this law has been made up for those illegal immigrants, who I mean, there's a proper close and shut case because obviously, if they are criminal, if they are terrorist, or did something that's wrong, that's completely like violating the law, right? So, of course, there's no point of having a discussion. There's no point of having investigation. It's just a complete understandable thing that that person did this wrong. So there's no, I mean, there shouldn't be any chance given to that person to appear in the court. And I think that's fair enough. But right now, the innocent people are also suffering. So that shouldn't happen. And that's okay, if somebody is trying to, I mean, use the laws that has been implemented few years back in the US, and US was really good at that time. But that doesn't mean that this time also it will work because this time there are so many people, this time there are, I would say, millions of immigrants right now who are actually making America, and there are some people who are already like breaking America, right? So it's a combination of both of them. So it's a very tough job for the, I would say, administration side because they have to go to each one background and have a proper check,
yeah.
what they did and how did they come to USA, from where did they come. So it will be a difficult job for them also. It's not that they are just randomly picking up somebody
Yeah.
and throwing away from the US. Of course, it's
Right
also,
now, that is what is happening.
mhm,
They are basically scanning is going on who came, how they came, are
yeah,
they having the a right status, are they on status,
hmm,
should they be here or should they not be here, right? That's the main question.
right,
So,
right. Of course, and I
thank
think
you,
that's how it's
Richard, for
happening.
joining us. Yeah,
And
sorry, Sam.
Cynthia is also here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me take Cynthia's comment. Hi, Cynthia, and thank you so much for your comment. And you are saying that I have been representing people in immigration court for 15 years, all right? And my organization represents thousands of people every year. This is the most shocking thing I have ever seen happen to one of our clients, said Lindsay. Okay, and co-founder and president of the Immigrant Defenders Law Center, who is representing a different Venezuelan asylum seeker. I think that's right, Cynthia. It's not only that, shocking for them, also for all of us, because nobody has thought that ever in life we are going to see any removal of any case from the track system. And that too, removing anybody's information, anybody's name from the system is like uh, there's a big question on their existence, whether that person is alive or not. And it's a matter of discussion, of course. It's a matter of a big question for everyone, not only for that person who has been removed from the list or the person who removed it, but for everyone, because this could happen with anyone, with any immigrant, right? And it's a very difficult time that's happening, but I think by having these shows, by having these conversation, we can definitely do one thing, and that is to increase our knowledge, increase our awareness about these things. Because with these shows only, we are getting to know about these news updates that's happening. So make sure, Cynthia, to, next time we will wait for you to join our call, I mean, join the session through call.
Mhm.
And for that, you can dial 425-436-6335. And don't forget to put the access code. That is 988888. We'll definitely wait for you. And it's not only Cynthia, but anyone, friends, those who want to join this call and have a great conversation on the topic, then please go ahead and we will definitely welcome you wholeheartedly and will wait for you.
So, Sam, I also wanted to talk about, the consequences of this policy because these deportations have, set like a sort of a very dangerous precedent, and they could really have sincere and severe consequences also for both immigrants and the US immigration system because there are so many people having so many questions. Even the citizens of the United States also are, definitely wondering what's happening. Why is this
Mhm.
happening? And if you talk about the Venezuela's response, they're calling these kidnappings, because the government has condemned these actions,
Mhm.
and they're calling them kidnappings for sure because no matter how diplomatically you answer this, if you look at the ties between Venezuela and El Salvador also, it's broken, and deported individuals have no support at all if you think about it, very
Yeah.
little if you have any. And of course the families are already impacted very badly because everybody's devastated, they're confused, they're also financially strained, right? We have been speaking
Mhm.
about this, and in no way they are able to contact their loved ones. Family is family after all, they should at least know what's happening.
Mhm.
I mean, getting departed from each other is one thing, but not knowing where they are being sent
Yeah.
is, it's crazy. Like, how can anybody be okay with that kind of no information?
And that too when they have no criminal record, when their
Exactly.
background is free from criminal. So it's something really
Mhm.
shocking. It's something really depressing
I
because,
feel like it somehow, I mean, many of us, I'm sure, we feel like there is some human right. It's like violation of human rights also.
Mhm.
And maybe
Yeah,
there could be future lawsuits also. We will have to just wait and watch. But everybody, they have the right to know what's happening, right?
right. And
Especially
it's
the
not
loved
only
one.
about, exactly, it's not only about, Napasa, one or two person or
Yeah.
just 10 or 15 people. It's like 200 Venezuelan immigrants. I mean, so they are being suffering, though we don't know how many of them they do actually have criminal records or they don't have criminal records. But it's really hard to accept these things that those who are free from any criminal background, they are the one who are also being prisoned in El Salvador, right? And
Yeah.
that too, their family members are not being informed. Their family members are trying to find out their husband or their friends or their, anybody's information, like how they are they alive or not, where they are. And it's also that, it's very difficult for them to right now adjust with these situation. So it's really hard, it's really tough for everyone right now. But I think, friends, it's only the way, you can look out for is just by knowing more and more information about different things and about everything about the immigration topic. So I think that's the only way, by keeping yourself informed, by keeping yourself updated regarding all the news, all the cases, everything that's happening in the world of immigration can save you this time. So that's the only advice, and that's the only, I would say, tip I can say for this webinar. And there's nothing more to let our viewers know about it.
And talking about United States, of course, it's claiming that this policy is necessary for national security, and many individuals appear to have been wrongfully accused and stripped of their legal rights. So I don't know what you have to say about that too, friends. And whatever it is, do feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And
Mhm.
it'll be really nice to know what do you think about all these immigrants disappearing, and what do you think about the thoughts of United States or the Venezuelan government? You
Mhm.
know, should America be allowed to deport all these people without court hearings? Not even one.
Mhm.
And I
That's
mean,
right.
we are left with so many questions, right, Sam?
That's right. I think these are the incidents, that we are discussing. We are not having a proper answer that why these things are happening. It's
Yeah.
just a exchange of ideas that we are sharing. And of course, it's free. I mean, you can share number of ideas. But there's no proper conclusion to it, like why it's happening and why these steps are being taken. Maybe at the end of the year, or maybe at the end of all these situation, when things will calm down, we'll get to know some different thing. We'll get to know that maybe they were the members of Trende Aragua, or maybe they were not. So anything can happen, and right now, I think everybody is trying to find out more and more about the incidents, and that's how we are also trying our viewers to know more and more about the news, more and more about the these cases. So yeah, I think that's all. And Napasa, I think it's almost time, and we do got a lot of comments from our viewers. We had a discussion on that. So I think let's wrap it up, or would you like to add something more on the conversation?
Did we take AJ's comment, the second bit?
I think oh, okay, not this one. Oh, sure, you can take it.
Is Patriot Act playing a role in the secrecy of detainees? This can and does happen to US citizens too if they are deemed a national security threat. Yeah, that is true. I mean, depending on the situation, to anybody who has information, post comments so other people can know what is happening. Yes, for sure. At least I think we all need information. And it's so true, AJ. You know, Patriot Act playing a role in secrecy of detainees. Well,
Hmm.
too much secret, really. We all need answers. So, yes, thank you so much, AJ, for joining us with your comments as well, and also to Cynthia, to Richard, Fawad, and AJ again. Thank you so much for participating today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Immigration Talk Show, everyone out there watching. And you can also check us out on not just on YouTube, but also on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, Instagram. Check us out and follow us, friends, and stay connected with us. Also, if you have any questions or anything you want to ask, which we can probably direct it to attorneys, you can email us at nepa@staffingly.com or sam@staffingly.com, or you can even WhatsApp me on my number and call me on my number 408-335-6444. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Do leave your thoughts in the comments. And Sam and I, we come with daily immigration dose every day at 4 p.m. So check us out, 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
Thank you, everyone, and keep watching Immigration Talk Show.